Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about the upcoming Chaos customization in Space Marine 2 patch 11.0 on the public test server and soon to be the official patch in late November. Now, a lot of people are unaware we have actually gotten some Heretic Astartes customization over the course of the game's lifespan. So first of all, if we take a look at the Assault class here, we have a Night Lord's Champion skin. These were added in during the patch 10.0 anniversary update, but in the patch 11.0 update, you will actually be able to customize not only these champion skins, but also the armor sets here. What I mean by that is you can now go through and swap out these separate armor pieces just like a standard Astartes. You can swap over to things like a Night Lord's Relic armor here or the Alpha Legion. Now Alpha Legion and Death Guard are two of my favorite Heretic Astartes chapters on top of Night Lords. I'm pretty happy to see this. Now personally, I don't play a ton of PvP in this game, to be honest. And hopefully one day some of these options may come to the PvE operations. I know a lot of people have asked about having PvE operation Heretic Astartes customization and things like that. Unfortunately, the current word on the street is that Games Workshop said no directly to Saber Interactive. Saber Interactive did want to bring these champion skins, or at least some of this customization, over to the PvE operations, but unfortunately, Games Workshop is the final word. But that aside, if you are someone who has done the 9 kills in 9 separate missions to unlock these champion skins for each class in the PvP mode, you will be able to basically mix and match these champion skin parts just like the base game Astartes in the PvE operations. So if you look at the helmets here, you have options like the Black Legion Relic helmet, which is the champion skin version. You can put on like a World Eater or Night Lords. You also get this for the shoulder pieces, of course. Now, as far as I can tell, you can pretty much do this for every single champion set in the entire game, which is pretty damn cool. Obviously, it would be nice to have these in the PvE operations, but whether or not you want PvE operations to have Heretic Astartes customization is kind of a hot topic in Space Marine 2. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing it. It might take people out a little bit, but would really take you out more like a Crayola Marine. I'm not so sure. It's one of those things where Space Marine 2 is not entirely lore accurate. Obviously, mixing and matching like an Alpha Legion chest on top of a Night Lord helmet is not lore accurate in itself, but at some point, I feel like you do have to draw a line on like what you were basically trying to represent in the game. And even though Space Marine 2 is incredibly Ultramarine coded, I think Heretic Astartes might take it out a little bit for some people. But that being said, it would be nice to see more customization options. Now, on top of mixing and matching these armor sets with all these champion pieces, you will still be able to change all the colors of these. Now, this is a vanilla function. This was here at launch, I believe, that you could change the color of your Heretic Astartes, or was added in shortly after launch. Either way, you can make some pretty unique outfits, and that's a pretty nice thing to see. You also have options for the DLC patterns, obviously not all of them, but quite a few, which is pretty nice to have. And I'll be real, guys, my hottest take here is these champion skins for the Heretic Astartes look better than like half the champion skins you actually have to pay for the Primaris Marines, which is pretty insane to say because basically these are all free. Now, on the testing server here, you can't actually see the World Eater one, which is like my favorite, but the point is Alpha Legion and World Eater have some of the best champion skins in this entire game for both Primaris and Heretic Astartes, and they look pretty amazing. And Games Workshop limiting these to the PvP operations, I think that kind of sucks. I mean, I know people don't want to be completely taken out of it, but having like a Chaos operation in the future could be cool. Now, I believe previously Saber Interactive did say they would never do a Heretic Astartes like operation or something like that, but they also recently made a post saying that they would be doing something that they never said they would do before, or they said that they would never do before. So maybe one day we'll see something like that, but hopefully it's something like perk loadouts as well. But I digress. Point is, I hope to see this level of detail for champion skins all the time going forward. Now, recently they had a leak for the Raven Guard champion skin. It looks quite good, but the fact that you have to pay like $8 to $9 to get a champion skin like the Raven Guard is coming up, and these are all free for 6 classes in the game, I don't know. I feel like, you know, we could probably get more out of these DLC packs if Saber Interactive like properly allocated their resources. And a big issue I have with Space Marine 2's customization in general is that the Sniper class in particular, this guy's armor pieces for his cloaks here, they will clip through basically every single shoulder piece in the entire game outside of the like the base Phobos armor he has. Like it'll clip here a bit, it'll also clip here, and like half the DLC items or like the new Accolade shop items will also clip. So these are the new shoulder pieces that are coming into the patch 11.0, and they literally all clip through the cloak pieces. So you basically are limited to using a single type of cloak on this guy, or like one of 3 cloaks. Use the Salamander's Champion one to not clip, you can use the Chameleon Line cloak to not clip, and you can use the base Chameleon Line cloak to not clip. This is the Prestige version. And all the other ones will clip to some extent, and this has been a problem since launch. I feel like this is just really lazy, the fact they haven't fixed this at all. Like really all you'd have to do, I feel, is just like remove this portion of the cloak to actually get this to function, and like clearly that's an option for ones like these. But either way, the fact that the Astartes champion for the Heretic version has like his own nice textured cloak that does not clip with his arms, and you can also use this on all the other armor sets. Obviously he doesn't have like a ton of cloak options, but he has 2 here. Like, you know, he has a hood here that fits perfectly on his helmet, on top of the fact that you have like a secondary cloak that isn't even like in the base game, I believe, for the other sniper options. Let me go back to the Adeptus Astartes one. Yeah, as far as I can tell, this model isn't even in the base game. It might be this one, just a retexture of this one. But either way, point is that the Heretic Astartes armor looks pretty sick, and you have multiple cloak options that fit really well with the armor, and all the ones here pretty much clip over half the DLCs in the game, which is pretty shit to see. I know this is like a primarily sniper issue, but I feel like Space Marine 2 really should be expanding its customization more and more. They did do that recently with the new champion customization being able to like be mixed and matched, which is nice to see. And this Wolf Pauldron, if you're unaware, is coming to all of the classes for like Mark X Tacticus, and I believe Gravis as well, not just Phobos, because a lot of people don't know that Phobos is the light armor that Primaris Astartes wear, which is why so many of these armor pieces are permanently locked to Sniper and Vanguard, because only Sniper and Vanguard wear these 2 armor types. Now, on the note of whether or not the Chaos Marine customization should come to the PvE operations, I did make a community post around this about 2 hours ago. It is up to 4,000 votes already. It was a fairly hot topic, at least among my community, and of the people who voted, 76% said yes and 24% said no. So it's not the most controversial topic ever, but there's definitely a substantial amount of people, at least who voted for this, that think that we should not bring it over to the PvE operations. But I am going to read a couple comments here that I thought brought up some interesting takes. So first off, Varon said, it's already there, you just can't equip anything that has chaos specific accessories. You can already give your Space Marine chaos colors and heraldry. If some dude can run through decapitation wearing the Crayola Marine colors, it's an unknown founding, then why shouldn't I be able to rock the full Night Lord's Champion livery? I kind of agree with this. I think this is where my opinion on this mostly lies. This is why I hearted this comment in the first place. Now, as far as like chaos specific equipment goes, we already have post heresy colors in game. You can make a pretty damn similar Night Lords to like some of the chaos customization in PvP on like a Vanguard and stuff with the Phobos helmet. Obviously, you're allowed to Primaris armor, but still, it does take me out of it. And to be honest, anything in this game that's not Ultramarine coded is already breaking lore to some extent, but I understand the want for Loyalist versus Chaos. Now, another comment I saw that brought up a pretty decent argument here is from the Mystic Master. Now, he said, if they make a specific PvE mission or missions, sure, but I wouldn't like it if they just made the existing PvE missions suddenly have the Heretic armor. It just wouldn't fit having some of the Heretic colors is already pushing it for me. So I understand this argument because, you know, on one side you'd say, oh, we already have the Heretic colors, so who cares at all about the PvE customization having heresy stuff? But on the other side, you say, okay, we already have Heretic colors, let's not push it even further. And he also says, and keep in mind, I love Chaos, like my preferred / favorite factions are all Chaos. But if I were playing an Eldar game, I wouldn't want a skin for Drukhari just because they're similar, you know. I'd rather have mission / games where I can actually play as them and not a loyalist pretending to be them. So I think this is a pretty great take here, to be honest. Like, this is a very well thought out one, in my opinion, compared to a lot of the ones I've seen, because I've seen ones just say like, oh, I don't want it, with like no explanation. But I totally understand where this guy is coming from. And as far as PvE heretic customization goes, while I would personally like to see it, I would like an actual chaos operation. And I'm curious to see what you guys have to say in the comment section below. And as always, if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.